wonder who will be doing the recap.
Yep. Well, welcome back, everyone. And since we know who will be doing the recap, Rupert, I'll just go ahead and let you go.
Right, so the last session was a pretty chill session. Not much really happened. Just a bunch of people doing chores. But the important stuff was off. Group did some scouting. Not much came of it. Course dealt with bureaucracy, and then went to talk with the Elis siblings, and found out a little bit of information on the Pleasant Fang and Aberrant scale. Lessla went to talk to Sasprina about a couple things. One being the orb full of souls, Valnora, and after those two things had been brought up, mentioned Dion, and even brought Dion in for an examination. But everything about Dion seems perfectly healthy, which it was both relieving and not relieving for Lessla. I guess reassuring would be the actual proper word. It ended with Lessla receiving a letter, which was signed not by the Blackstaff, not by his station or the seal of his station, but his personal wizard seal, inviting the Mithril Scales to lunch. Lessla sent off her 2 messengers to inform the group he may meet him for lunch, which is 10 minutes from now.
It's more like a Brenner.
I'll stab you. Second lunch.
I guess actually not Brenner. Brenner's.
There's a difference between lunch, dinner, and supper.
Yes, it's more like a. It's actually more like a dinner, a mix between lunch and dinner.
But what about
It's just
cake and
it's just
breakfast?
after lunch snack.
No, it's second teasies.
Okay, anyways.
All right. Anyway, let's get to lunch, people.
All right. So I believe before we do that, real quick, Cheese, was there anything Cheese wanted to do over those couple of days?
Other than get our new outfit with Hope, no.
Okay, gotcha. Also, in regards to that, I did think for a while on how Hope would respond to that. I eventually decided he just wouldn't respond at all. That's more fitting.
That's fair.
Of course,
I've
I'm
been,
beautiful. I can become anything I want.
I've been kind of dead. I apologize.
Okay.
It's okay. I almost burnt my house down.
What the fuck? Okay, we're gonna need lore later.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, actually.
Lunch, everyone.
Because Rec will get what I mean. I would expect that from Sale.
Yeah. I mean, I do expect it from Ruford, let's be honest.
I'm very careful. It was just.
But anyway.
Yeah, it's funny. People who watch
myself
the...
on fire. I never set a house on fire.
Forward Hope.
Right.
Forward Hope.
But anyway, if that is what we're going to be doing, then I will go ahead and move everyone back over to this map. And I'm assuming that the entire group is invited with...
Hope? I bring hope.
Are you bringing Hope? Or are you excluding Hope?
We're bringing Hope. He's part of the group
we
now.
did tell Hope everything.
He's part of the group now. We're bringing Hope.
Yeah, but I feel bad for Hope.
Yeah.
Alright, so then I will go ahead and bring everyone over.
Part of the group. Back at this table.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I still need to teach you how to do rollable tables so that you can actually switch people's tokens on the fly.
Yeah, that probably would be a decent idea.
And it'll be great because then when I get magic that transforms people, I can just rollable token myself.
Yeah. Regardless. You all arrive. There is nobody here yet, so if you wish to speak amongst yourselves, you will have some time.
Cheese doesn't have anything particular to say.
I feel like we're kind of in the awkward silence of no, unless like someone wants to give an update on what they've been doing. There's not much.
I found my outfit for Liar's Night. I'm very excited.
Can't wait to see it.
Yes, it will be interesting what everyone decides to wear.
I need to draw that. Damn it! Fuck! Why do I do this? Fucking.
Regardless, after a bit of
Small talk.
chatter, yeah, a bit of small talk from the group. You do hear someone come up the steps and see this individual walk around the edge, kind of stopping to lean right here and look over you all.
Well, they are clearly the most important token here. They have a completely different art style.
Yes, no, this absolutely is not just the free assets that I have access to. But anyway. I think Lessla and Sapphire and Corvus, all of you could roll a. I think this would be a history check.
History.
Alright.
Unless there is a more effective one for general culture.
It's history.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Damn, Corvus!
Once again, whenever it comes to Waterdeep,
30 years old.
once again, whenever it comes to Waterdeep, I fail these checks.
He's 30 years old.
Rupert is 30 years old. I'm basically a native. I am a native.
So yeah, okay. Okay, so Lessla, you're the only you could, by looking at them, can tell that they're part of a group of some sort. You just are not familiar with any symbology. You can't really identify any symbology on them specifically. But as for Sapphire and Corvus, you are able to recognize this woman as a member of the Red Sashes. The Red Sashes themselves are.
For me.
Sorry?
That's most fitting for me since I have a buddy in the Red Sashes.
Yeah. The Red Sashes specifically are. They kind of exist all up and down the Sword Coast, but they are primarily based out of Waterdeep. And they are well known as a vigilante group that's pretty well respected by the everyday citizens. Even some of the lords specifically are well tied to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is what you know. Corvus, you specifically would know that the group is known to have ties to the Black Staff of Waterdeep. At least so you've heard.
Yeah.
But the woman walks in and kind of looks over you all. Am I to assume you're the Mithril Scales?
You assume correctly.
She takes a few steps in. And am I to assume that everyone in this room can be trusted?
We're still working on that bit.
Cheese, you're the only one who can detect this. You can detect the faintest bit of a smile under her mask. I appreciate your honesty. Then I assume you all know why you've been summoned here.
I have no clue.
Blackstaff.
What was that?
Blackstaff has requested a meeting.
Hmm. She nods. More accurately, a briefing. We've been taking our time trying to ferry out the members of this group of which I'm sure you're aware, given your history.
Thousand Fang.
No, they've decidedly left the city and are beyond our reach, at least for now. But their competitors have stepped up their attempts in recent months. And even more so now that they are the sole power player in the game.
Oh, there's not other criminal guilds around.
So you would know that there was another one that was mentioned that has fought you kind of in
The aberrant scales.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, he knows that. He's asking there's not an other one top of the aberrant scales.
There are most certainly many small groups, but larger organizations have a hard time finding purchase in Waterdeep. Larger groups such as the ones you speak mainly find purchase in cities like Baldur's Gate. They leave Waterdeep well enough alone, with the exception of some small, I would almost say tourist groups with how poorly they know the city. But they are no challenge.
If they're as much a problem as they are, why is he asking us?
Because he trusts in your abilities.
There are more advanced adventurers in the guild. Surely he has people in his employ who would be far more skilled at this kind of thing. That's just to hurt her.
There are many members of many guilds and many organizations, all working to play their part. This is simply the one he has asked you to play, if you accept it. If not, someone else can be found, I'm sure, but you are the choice.
I'm curious as to why.
That reason is not for me to know.
So, what exactly is it? He wants us to go look for them and punch them in the face or something?
Look for them? No. They've been found.
Then why are y'all not doing anything about it?
Because we fear if we strike at them directly, they will simply go to ground and be lost to us for good.
And you think a couple of nobodies has a better chance of defeating an
We
established
think a
criminal?
group like yourself will be able to ferry out information on what they plan to do, on their secrets, if you can prove yourself capable. At the moment, they seem to be making a sort of desperate gamble, holding a all but open recruiting event.
If it's open, why not send some of your boys in disguise then?
We are unsure of just how many of their members exist in other organizations. Offshoots of the Dragon Cult are often known to embed themselves very, very deep within their surrounding environment.
And how do you know
And
none
this
of us
group
are
has
members?
proven to know a bit more than they should already.
How do you know none of us are members?
Because you ask questions
Because
like
they give,
that.
and because they blatantly fought you in the streets with the intent to kill. Did they not?
That means none of us are members.
It makes it highly unlikely.
About this recruitment. You want us to stroll into a recruitment space and just poke our noses where they don't belong and hope we make out with our lives.
You will be provided with the appropriate disguises, those of you that need them anyway. We ask you to go in, and individuals of your capable nature, we assume you can gain their trust with time. And with the desperate nature of the desperate nature of their current ploy, we are inclined to believe they may be more loose of the tongue than usual.
So we know they're desperate, and we know that they're currently in power. Why are they desperate if they have a power hole?
That we do not know. But their operations and their current most recent actions lead us to believe that there is some level of panic amongst their number.
With the most recent actions.
Among other things, a blatant attack on one of the masked lords.
Just like actually like leans a little forward into his chair, resting his head like, okay.
As you can understand, this is very concerning. Granted, the individuals who were successfully apprehended did not claim to have any ties to the group, but their tactics, their use of spells bound in ink, and their dogmatism, all of them fit.
So, things we know about them are they use spells and they believe what they're saying.
They use spells of a very specific variety and nature, one that is not easily replicated, and most replications of it are highly regulated.
I suppose the big question is we're putting ourselves at risk, what exactly do we get out of it?
You will be fairly compensated, of course. And she slides a scroll across the table to you specifically, Corvus, since you're the one asking so many questions.
Important to understand your prey before you go hunting. They go unravel the scroll.
Upon completion of the assigned task, successfully or unsuccessfully, all contracted members will be awarded with a pay of 200 gold per individual. In addition, successful completion may include certain relics that are currently in the possession of the Blackstaff, within reason.
Pulls it up. So what exactly are you looking for? And he hands it back to her, obviously. Or is this like a thing?
information- Whatever.
This is like a thing that we're to keep.
Mhm.
Okay, he keeps it then.
No, it's yours. Yeah, that's
Yeah, okay, he'll keep
just the
it.
offer. There are
No, 'cause
notice
he-
there are places at the bottom to sign.
He needs a Corvus would like a copy of this. It's magical tomfoolery. Aha,
worry.
illusionate script was cast. You just signed a contract. You get nothing.
Yeah, but it seems fairly straightforward.
I will cast a detect magic just to make sure there's no magical tomfoolery.
Nope.
Good.
It is just your ordinary mundane scroll, which is actually kind of odd, considering
Yeah,
who it's from.
Yeah, you think it's
Now here's the trick. It's actually there's the spell that makes it so that they can hide magic auras.
this doesn't know about that spell.
Yeah, Lessla does.
But anyway, what is sought from you is to gain information, and if you are put in the place to stop their plans, should they prove sufficiently dangerous, it would be requested that you act. Of course, such an additional service would come with additional benefits, should you complete it.
If the laws of Waterdeep, and that means we have permission to kill with cause.
You would not be able to complete your job if you did not.
That's a good protection to have because it's actually illegal to kill even with justification.
Self-defense.
Oh, literally it says in the code legal, killing with justification is still a crime.
Yeah.
It's essentially saying we get a pass.
Yep.
Very useful. Alright. And when do they plan to have this meeting?
Tomorrow night.
Fire's night.
Indeed.
Night when no one
Just
can be
picked the
trusted.
cutest outfit.
Uh-huh.
All the more reason for you to wear it.
Lessla will say this. Wearing disguises is a part of last night, and if we were to not be wearing anything at all, it might draw more suspicion to us than not.
Is there ever a better time for such an organization to find new members?
No
Oh, I
deal
was just
made
hoping I
last
wouldn't get
night can be
blood on
trusted.
it.
No deal on last night can be trusted. You are correct. This is an organization that does not trade in deals. Rather, ideals. And very perverse ones at that.
I want to go into Lion's Den. The only information that we have is that they are dogmatic and that they have magic. That is hard to come by.
We are aware that they are a offshoot of the Dragon Cult.
What does that mean in terms of danger?
In terms of danger, they are willing to kill to accomplish their goals. They are efficient, at least some of their number are, in profane and defiling magics, such as the raising of the dead and the binding of souls.
Necromancy.
In layman's terms, yes.
The highest ideal of the earliest sects of the Dragon Cult was to create Draco Liches. If they are proficient in that, they may be searching for a way to do so, even with the dragons being gone.
It is highly likely.
Right.
Currently, their biggest advantage is we do not know their true motives. every offshoot, every branch of the cult has its own way of doing things, its own patron sometimes as well.
You have no leads on who's funding this operation here.
As of thus far, we have not been able to find.
You have a question on the Thousand Fang, though.
She nods for you to continue.
Have the other towns been notified of their affiliation?
All individual cities and states within the Lord's Alliance have been notified of both organizations.
Know that they had operations as far as Cormia.
Dignitaries from farther away have proved more difficult to contact and take more time. But efforts are being taken to ensure that allies are aware of their capabilities. Those who do
Nice.
not have good relations with Waterdeep are another matter entirely.
Oh. This finally looks away from her and turns to the rest of the group. What do y'all think?
Hunting down members of the Dragon Cult is something that I take great pleasure in doing. But it comes to the point of we need to create. If we are to pretend to be new potential recruits, we will need to have a sufficient enough backstory, as it were, of who exactly we are if they are going to be asking questions.
Perhaps the
If that,
mask will aid
if they
us.
prove to do so, then, well, I'm sure you all can come up with something.
Hmm.
There are many members of the Adventurers Guild, and there are many members of other less official guilds who do business inside of Waterdeep. I doubt they have the ability to track them all. Even the Black Staff and the Open Lord lack such abilities.
Lessla will nod at that, but we'll look to the others to see if they have any opinions on the subject.
Go and still looking at.
I'm thinking what to say.
If you do plan to ask the NPCs, do let me know and I will
I
answer for them specifically.
Yeah. I guess this is I have a feeling I know what Zarfea is going to say, but I think I'm gonna ask for Zarfea and Lara's opinion before Vale's, because they're the ones that have dealt with Dragonfall before with us.
Zorfea is probably exactly what you imagined. She's all too happy to deal with them,
Mhm.
especially given the parameters that have been set before her. Lara is much more hesitant, but given what they were capable of, she does see this as something that does need to be done.
And my assumption is that Hope is for justice, because that's his current mask, I assume.
Here in private with most of you, Hope isn't as much in the mask. He is absolutely willing to, you're getting paid, and he gets to apply his specialty. So he doesn't see a problem with this.
And
200 gold's quite a payday.
200 gold is quite a payday. That's like
4 spell levels.
that is four four spell levels for Lessla.
Wow.
Or 2 ritual spells.
4 whole spell levels.
And I'm going to assume that Vale is all too happy to prevent the misuse of magic.
Vale indeed is. However, he will say that given his convictions, he may stand out more than he should. It might be wise for him to watch after your little friend here
Yeah,
while the rest of you do that.
yeah. That's understandable this time. What are your thoughts, Cheese?
I believe that anything to do with the undead needs to be made dead once more. I'm more than happy to go after them. And not for the sake of the Black Staff.
I agree with Cheese, but we do need to be careful not to be too reckless.
We will endeavor not to be. Especially because there are many more civilians at risk than there were the last time we encountered the Dragon Cult. Is there anything else that we need to know or is of dire consequence? And she looks
Out of character, were we told where we have to meet
We've
them?
not been to, that was waiting. That was the last thing I was because where means
Okay.
where we accepted we're doing it. So Corvus,
Okay.
that was gonna be the last.
Yeah. So if you are accepting it, then she does have another piece of paper that she will lay on the table for everyone to see.
okay.
And this one is a poster. It is written in the common Waterdevian tongue. So I believe most of you, if not all of you here, can read it.
John Dathan?
I mean, it's
Uh,
Waterdeep
Mainly
tongue.
common.
Yeah.
Mainly
It's
common.
plain common with Waterdeep-esque kind of style.
Yeah. It is written in common.
Okay.
And it says, to those who seek a better future for themselves, to those willing to do what is necessary, to those with conviction unshakable, come and see for yourselves the New World Order. And it does have an address in the dock ward. The righteous shall be rewarded, the wicked's blood spilled.
This.
Of course, it's in the dog.
Yeah, of course, it's not awkward. Lessla looks at that and just gonna make a comment is. This is the first time I've heard of the Dragon Cult proclaiming itself as saviors.
Many cults that deal in undeath claim the same. It is unsurprising.
It also indicates that the leader of this cult might be a figure of high personality.
She nods.
Also be a religious. Not the ideals. Obtain
Religious what?
element.
Element. Well, that was common even in the last Dragon Cult.
Yeah. It wouldn't be surprising if there was some sort of religious aspect to it. A large portion of the Dragon Cult a couple of centuries ago were devoted to Tiamat, although that specific sect lost power after, well, they were beaten back. But if this is a mixing of those ideals, I can only hazard a guess at the things they would be willing to do.
Right.
Is there anything further from you all?
No, not from Lessla. Unless there's anything of consequence that we need to know before we do this. And she's looking at the red sash.
The preparations you make are your own. If you require additional resources, arrangements can be made.
What resources can you provide?
I would like a spell scroll of every first and second level spell known in existence.
Pretty please,
So
spell scroll,
the
flower word, kill.
so the understanding is that is within reason.
Yeah. I know. That's why I said every level 1 and 2 spell scroll that exists in the world, because that's very unreasonable, but not unreasonable to a wizard to want.
Is that in character, that request?
No, absolutely not. Lessla doesn't like learning spells from other people. She likes taking knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Regardless. Corvus, I believe you asked in character what resources you could provide.
Yes.
Obviously, if you require any sort of documentation to prove who you are, though I doubt you will need it, it can be provided. But I suggest you come up with the details in a timely manner. Such documents do take time to forge.
What
Also, if you
about
require any garments for the night, those can be acquired, though I know from some of you that is not currently an issue.
you mentioned that we could use members of guilds or things of that. What about a very minor merchant lord?
Sorry, what was that?
She said that guilds and stuff, but could it be like a very minor merchant lord, like someone who has just become a lord and wants to further their power?
Who's funding them?
No, just who's a very minor lord.
He's like disguising himself as a very minor lord and having.
Oh, you want to be
Yeah.
disguised as that?
Yeah. Who could be trying to use the cult to expand their power further.
It could be done, yes. Though I would caution you against making yourself too important, given their recent activities. I cannot guarantee you'll be accepted well.
Someone who's looking for it then. Merchant who wants to be a lord.
Those documents can be forged for you.
Technically, Corvus is a merchant. In a very abstract, it's not technically a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, how's your deception, buddy? A lie of omission is still a lie.
-1, my guy.
Hey, yep.
Sell things. I specialize in hides and furs. I'm technically a lie. I never said they were high quality.
No.
He he puts his own blood, sweat, and tears into every single one of the what the items he sells.
Yeah. I guess we could use, if we're using the hide stuff, be a merchant or a merchant who works on behalf of the Leather Workers Guild or the Tanners Guild. Could work.
You know, I could pretend to be a sorcerer. Yeah. But funny thing, Lessla still has no idea her eyes changed. No one's told her. Everyone that's seen it has been like, okay, that's a thing. But it has not said anything.
Most of them don't realize.
Most of them
this is
don't see
new.
it because you have colored glasses on all the time.
Yes, but people have.
I think the only person that has actually seen it is Cheese.
I mean, Lessla takes her glasses off consistently, though. So.
I will say also, geez, dog, shut up.
Cheese dog.
No, that's my mother's
Cheese.
dog. Who
Wild shapes, right now.
my mother's dog has problems
Okay.
with many things. Many things. But anyway.
What were we even make? Oh yeah, how about no one's actually comment on Lesla's eye, but oh well. Yeah. This will be fun.
With to play a lie of negative charisma would be great. See, this not going wrong at all.
Shadow, can you put the text of the poster in somewhere?
Yes. Give me a sec. That will take some time though.
Okay.
Thank you. I feel like it'll help me just staring at it to come up with help come up with a potential backstory for all of us.
I mean, one thing Lesla's going to do is she's going to look over the poster to see if there's like any hidden or subliminal messages in it. I doubt there is, but you know, there's always a chance.
Go ahead and roll me investigation.
All right. Investigation. That shouldn't have been an advantage, but that is a 17. Why am I at disadvantage? Oh, right. Because of Zalnora, which I've been meaning to say. I've been meaning to say is I'm just keeping that on the one that gives me advantage on everything. Until I think I might get into a fight. The day before I might get into a fight. So like Liar's Night, I'll probably be on the one that gives me disadvantage on skill checks.
And you did not leave her with
No.
What's her name? Okay. Yeah, so she's still with you then.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah. No, Lessla doesn't want Zalnor to feel like she's a burden.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah. With that check, no, you don't notice anything hidden.
Okay. All right. Well. The poster is mostly regular. I don't see any additional messaging for a member that might happen across it. But
I have no questions.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no. Leslie's going to say if no one has any more questions, and she's going to look at Sapphire, who's been very quiet.
I've just been listening to all this and everyone has been asking any questions I might have. So
Yeah. If no one has any more questions, I think this briefing, as it were, is done, and it is time for us to start bringing together a plan of sorts.
If that is the case,
Agreed.
then I'll leave it to you. If you have any further questions, I will leave you a way in which to contact me. And she places a small sending stone on the table
Mm-hmm.
before taking her leave.
Eats it.
What did you say?
Said eats it.
Eat it.
Yum.
Oh, eats it. Alright, Lessla will use
Nope.
Mage Hand to pull it over to her.
I'm hungry.
I want stones.
Rock and stone? Yeah. Alright. So there's that. Which now that she's gone, Lessla will look to the rest of the group and say is, so we seems that we might have a change of our initial plans. Anything anyone would like to add now that we are alone? God damn it.
Truly, I can't think of anything.
Did we already share what our false names were going to be for Layers Night? I know we came up with them.
We did, but
The
the
NPCs
NPCs didn't.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
And I
I have
don't.
the list. I have the list.
And I
Yeah.
don't think Laura was here.
No,
She
well,
was there.
what?
No,
No, everyone was here because Diorn was
She was
here.
there, yeah. She was there, yeah. Cheese was Luna, Lessla was Shade, Corvus was Lord Arum, and Sapphire was Aurora.
Hope's been going by Ariel.
It could be anything, really.
Yeah, Hope
Hope can be despair
has
for
a
all
bit
we
of an
know.
advantage.
You know, I was gonna say something funny. The best alias for a changeling on Liar's Night, changeling,
Doppelganger.
doppelganger. Yeah, exactly. Hey, doppelganger. What?
5 people respond.
So, did you come up with their fake names, Shadow, or did you forget about that?
Well, it depends on who exactly you are including. Because
Yeah.
I
Oh,
do.
we know Lara's coming. We know.
Well, it's
Yeah.
up to you who you include and who you don't include.
I think we will take Vale's advice on this, and we'll leave him with
Yeah.
Diorn.
Okay.
Yeah. As much as I would like to have a cleric when there's a bunch of necromancers around, he always rolls so low on initiative, he never gets to turn undead.
Yeah.
Alright.
Poor guy just can't win.
He's trying.
He'll come into his own.
We just need to get him a better deck. Alright, but that's that. So what is the fake names that Zarfeya, Laura, and Hope have come up with? I assume Hope is just going to use Ariel.
Hope is just using Ariel, yes, because that's fake in general. Laura will use Lyra.
Alright.
And then as for Zarfeya, she's not the most creative and has simply gone with Snow.
Okay.
Okay, now Corvus, the most important question. What is Boy's fake name?
Boy's not coming out. He's watching Corvus' stuff.
Okay.
Because it's like, yes, this is my pet cat. Oh, Sir Dickens
Boy just
was
goes
like,
meow.
It's not. I mean, he could probably
can
he
hiss.
could probably
He can
hiss and
hiss.
purr.
I don't think he can purr, but he definitely hiss.
Might be able to purr. Have you ever heard a dragon purr? It's eerie. It's scary.
Never met a dragon.
I mean, yes, we have. We have a baby dragon actively with us.
Mm.
Which I assumedly we didn't actually have her at the meeting.
Yes, no. Up here.
Yeah, no.
Because we're keeping
That would
that.
have been up to you.
Yeah, no, we're still keeping her as much of a secret as we can, revealing her only when it feels necessary, which was, Lessla getting her checked
Alright,
up on was.
So then you left her. Would you have left her with anyone?
No, Lessla trust her, and Klaus and the
5
Raven
minutes.
for
On
to
10
be
minutes.
to be alone for
Yeah.
30 minutes to an hour with like a coloring book. Uh,
Back of the inn.
but yeah, Lessla trusts Diorm to be alone for at least an hour. Any longer than that, and she starts getting worried. But unless we have any more to discuss, I think it is best for us to.
I have a question.
Hmm?
A little. Do we know each other?
I believe it will be best for us to only know the people that we will be moving with on the night.
Of course not.
And seeing as we don't no longer need to do the patrols, we can switch up who's with who. But as Vale will not be taking part in this one fully, unless we can somehow teleport him in there to wreak havoc on necromancers.
I don't think we have the capability to do that.
No, it was a joke.
Sorry.
Yes. I should be able to work on my own well enough. So I don't think we really need to change anything, as it were. If things do go horrendously bad, well, I think people know if it goes bad for me. Any last minute modifications to the plan for anyone else?
Well, all going to be as is. Some of us not know who. Perhaps a word that can be easily slipped into it and without attracting suspicion in case we believe we're speaking to one another. Besides the name, of course. Even a hand signal or something of that matter. Well, I suppose some of us will be easier to spot than others.
Sorry about that.
Well, we don't quite know how flashy your outfit will be in comparison to others, Mine may be quite gaudy, all things considered.
No, I'm just tall.
To Lessla, someone being abnormally tall isn't like an indicator because
She
it's
also
normal.
points to the single horn on her head.
This is a little bit hard to disguise. I've done my best, but at least not to make it stick out so much.
If
Make it appear as part of the
more
costume.
like I do not know what Miss Eldercrow has chosen, but as we will be setting up shop near each other, we might arrive together.
Hmm.
So, I believe my partner in this was supposed to be Miss Lara, but if we're going right to this den, suppose Miss Lara and Miss Sindris can be the team instead.
They
They
do.
already will be arrived. Other than that, I believe we should be fine.
Yes.
If things do go well, you do not need to stay. Flee if you have to.
I will do what I think is best in the given situation. And this is where I really wish I had chosen Gem Dragon Arcana first instead of Chromatic Dragon Arcana. The ability to cast friends without people becoming hostile towards you is real fun.
But you still have to cast it.
Yeah, that's fair.
What are you doing? Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Well, that's what the mask is for.
Yeah, you also got to put lipstick on.
Proud about that part of the spell.
Although, because it's not a costly component, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All other things. Anything that would change is Corvus needs guild credential, just in case, and he will make his costume not look as ratty. A little nicer.
He spends the 5 extra gold to have it actually be fine clothing.
I've only spent 2 gold on my costume.
You cheapskate. I think I spent 15 gold on my costume.
I will spend
Christ.
another 3 gold on my costume, so it's 5 gold.
Yeah, I
Wait,
spent.
do I even have the money to pay for an outfit? Hold the
Yes, you
fucking phone.
do. You do.
Okay.
We got paid 125, remember? And you don't pay rent.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Don't pay rent.
Uh,
You heal my wounds. That is how you pay rent. When I get boo boo, you heal. Okay. Yeah, I think that's.
Cheese will have paid 15 for her.
Yeah. All right. Go team.
Her team.
All right.
go team.
Now to come up with plausible backstories.
I don't know. Depending on what they ask is what I'm going to do. The one potential I thought of was I could say that I'm just a member of a different sect of the Dragon Cult, and I've got tired of them being
Risky.
cowards.
Too risky.
Yeah.
Because the Aberrant Scale is also not an open dragon cult.
Yeah. But if they notice that I know a lot about dragons, they might ask about that.
Don't talk about dragons.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, the questions they ask is basically how that backstory is going to unfold.
Which is again why I'm waiting mostly for the text from the poster.
If you're
So I
traveling with
double-
Corvus, it could be either we met on the way, or it could be in some way connected.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
I just recommend
It's
you
just
let
also
Sapphire
good.
do the talking.
Yeah.
Lord Arum. He doesn't speak much. He lets me do all the talking for him because anytime Corvus opens his mouth, he's
he doesn't
clearly
deign
not a
to speak
lord.
to the
Well, how to
commoners.
do? Well, how you do, friend? Like, God, fucking damn it.
Well, how you do, right?
How you doing there? Yeah, I am Lord Aram.
My lord has severe social anxiety. Excuse him.
That's not untrue.
It's just not social anxiety. It's go away from me, please.
You know,
He's a misanthrope, not anxious.
Go.
his misanthropy can be hiding the anxiousness. You never know.
I would say the only thing when we're leaving, course, will go up to Lessla and hand her. Actually, I'll give it to the Drake, and the Drake will hand her Lessla a small bag.
What is this? Is it more coins?
It is. It is not. It's a very old-looking bag. It smells a little bit like. Okay. He hands it to you.
Let's all look in the bag. What's in the bag?
It is a bunch of shiny glass, shiny pieces of metal, and shiny teeth and bones, along with a large rough stone.
Lessla just looks confused.
As Corvus approach after taking hands, it's items from his horde. Wishes to give them to our friends' horde.
Lessla, now understanding, nods. I will see.
Stone is for buff and scale.
Oh,
Aww.
big brother boy.
Like the only other dragon he can play with. Klaus just stays away from him.
No, him and Cloud play cards together.
Oh yeah.
You forgot about that, didn't you? That they play cards together.
Play cards together,
Fucking
but not
dogs
looking.
playing poker, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no! Now we can add Dior to that mix.
No,
Poker
don't
nights.
teach Dior in poker.
It's
It'll make her too powerful.
Where's boy? Poker net. Ah.
Oh god! If that is the case, Lessla Cheese's room is just so full of animals every other night of the week. Because we have Pseudo Dragon, we have Raven, we have Dior, we have Boy for Poker Night, and then if Cheese,
All of Cheese's bugs.
all the Cheese's bugs, and then if Cheese deigns to make our lives worse, she can summon the Quasit.
Yeah, I have not done that yet.
Yeah,
Talk about the closet.
the Quasit might actually be useful in this next mission.
Scared of it.
Ah.
What's spade?
Yeah. All right. All right. The temptation to turn Clouth into, or not Clouth, the Raven into a spider is so tempting.
Have you got the gold for that?
I do.
25 gold.
It's 10, not 25. Is it
10.
25?
Oh, it's 10. Okay, it's 10.
Yeah, 10 gold. Yeah, I definitely have the gold to do it. To turn him into a spider. I don't think he would like it because he wouldn't actually be able to talk to us anymore.
He'd also you'd lose that specialness of him. So even if you turn it back into a raven, he'd just be a normal raven from the.
No. It is still the same one. Is if I recast it instead of summoning a new one, I can instead change his current form.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'd still be the Raven. But I'm not going to. The raven is part of the jester costume, actually.
Falling for shadow. Anyone else got anything to discuss while we stall?
Yeah. You know.
I'm letting you guys do your
Okay.
thing.
Okay,
I thought you're like busy in the background, like usually I was like,
Yeah.
No, I'm just waiting. For you guys.
falling.
No, we've
I'm
been
just
ready.
patiently waiting for the text from the poster.
Busy.
You're waiting on the GM to find where he wrote it down again.
Okay, let's. I think we're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Roofer were pontificating. Is that the right word? I really need to look up the words I use.
Yeah.
I believe pontificating is the right word. I definitely
Express one's opinion in a pompous and dogmatic way.
no, not pontificating then. Although I guess I do pontificate, so
You do that just normally.
yes, that is just my normal mode of being, is pontificating.
You're not British.
You'd act like it. Or like you'd think.
No, the only reason people know I'm not British is because I speak like a Californian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my
like
my Californian accent is heavy.
Well, you all sound American to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you're correct. So
My Californian accent is actually so thick that the other day I said pinging and people thought I said peeing because the G is lost in the Californian accent a lot.
Yeah. That's uh-oh, on to Liar's Night?
Uh-oh. Liar's Night.
Woo!
it depends on if there's anything anyone wants to do before then.
Nope. That was, my last thing to do was to give the couch to Lessla.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Last little.
That's narratively Lessla is starting to teach Diorn the basics of magic. Draconic magic, as it were.
Going to fucking spell book.
Opens up spellbook, and this is how you cast Encode Thoughts. It is the most important spell for a wizard.
You love it when you're like 3 months old, when you're like not even a month old, and your mom's trying to teach you magic. This is how you sacrifice an otter in order to make it rain.
Yippee!
Although I do not comprehend my ABCs, how can I possibly comprehend this?
Mother, I don't comprehend the fact that I'm a living, breathing being quite yet.
I haven't figured out my thumb is not to be eaten.
Anyway.
I'm just waiting for you, Shadow.
Yeah, no. But yeah, you guys have the rest of today and tomorrow prior to that. Is there any thing that you would like to do with that time?
Let's just go with getting set up.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing is Lessla, because I think Vale's mother, I can never remember her goddamn name.
Sasprina Arkenham.
Sasprina. Okay.
I don't know why I remember it. I just do.
Yeah. It's Sasprina needs her a little bit for the research.
Oh, yes,
if
there was
I remember
a
correctly.
potential thing of within a day, wasn't it?
I also just have a quick question. How much is hair dye?
Of the costume.
Get some peroxide. Go blonde.
No.
Oh god, no.
You can only go pale blue.
I mean, given the image,
So I think like me and her were making on a discussion of whether Sapphire dyes her hair or not.
Yeah, I still have to discuss that with Shadow on whether or not that's the case.
Lessla.
That's up to you.
That's up to me. Oh no.
It's fucking up to you.
Actually, there is one thing Lessla has to do the night before, which I assume Cheese is gonna want to help with because it's gonna be a long and arduous process, and that is braiding her hair.
Oh fuck.
Oh, yeah, Cheese will help with that.
That is the next 5 hours.
That is literally like an all-day process, is cornrowing and braiding the hair.
Yeah.
I am ready to switch out my token for my Liar's Night token. Because I just made one.
I wouldn't do that because it fucks up all of the it fucks up all of like the internal data on the token.
If you want, you can put your token in there and just leave an unbound token on top of it on the token layer. If you really want to do that.
How?
I really wish
So
I
here,
could create my own
For
rollable
example,
tables.
here, there's that's a random token I have. Random token, random token, random token. Random token, you. So see token here, on top of Sapphire, both move.
So Sapphire will see it over will see her token over that one because her token has higher priority for her.
No, I saw this one. The
Really?
one that was just moved
Yeah,
over.
here,
mine.
watch.
Oh, yeah, I see. So they must have changed that API a little bit to where it's now
however,
send it back. Yeah.
Yeah, I can send it to the back if I wish, or send to front, and then it will achieve it.
Yeah, the one downside is I made a full-on token, and I would have to send that to you for you to blah 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 and yada yada and whatnot.
Also, pay attention to the fact that that is a unique token.
I would. Well, it's not like we could tell.
We can't see any names.
Yeah, unless you set the nameplate to be visible to other players.
No, there's none on there. I'm just saying this is a unique one. This isn't one I just ripped off the internet.
It's literally a similar art style to these guys, as opposed to the very much drastically different art style to the Red Sash Lady.
Well, that's just what I randomly have on Roll20, so. Yeah, no, pay no attention. I'm sure that character won't be important.
What?
I was writing notes.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't even get to see them.
All right, so ready to go?
Good boy. I recap. I'm ready to go. I'll be ready to go. I've just been stalling for Shadow.
Yeah.
Yep, I just want to make sure there was nothing else that you guys wanted to do prior, because
yeah.
If that's the case, then Lessla needs to go to.
Cheese helps Lessla braid her hair. Cheese also, at this point, would inform Lessla, hey, your eye looks a little bit different.
Different how?
Mirror.
Yeah, Lessla doesn't actually
know how
look.
You haven't looked in a mirror yet.
Lessla doesn't look in mirrors.
You make sure there's no food in your teeth.
That's what a toothpick is for. At which point Lessla will look into this.
You're technically correct.
You don't need to look into a mirror if you just know what you're doing. Which Lessla is one of those people that just develops the knowledge of what they're doing to an extent that they don't need to look.
She's just built different, guys.
Yeah,
just
Cheese,
get good.
would you be going with Lessla to this meeting?
Cheese would not. No.
Cheese would not. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming Diorn would not either.
Not for this one, no.
Okay.
I moved Cheese back into the front room.
Thank you.
Cheese at this point would be going through the long and arduous process of getting ready somewhere not close to Lessla, so there is some sort of,
surprise.
Hey, yeah. We don't automatically recognize each other just because of the outfits that we have.
Yeah, Lessla is keeping her outfit hidden as well.
Sapphire is getting her hair ready for Liar's Night.
Of course is currently in the Temple of Soon being tied to a chair.
Yeah,
Is he getting his hair cut?
Cut, tidied.
Okay.
It is
I
evened
would have
out.
cried.
It is evened out.
Cried.
But he's also getting his beard tidied.
The particular priestess who was going there to straighten it is a little disappointed that you will not let her give it a nice trim, but does respect your wishes.
If winter. Oh.
Although I have a feeling that
beard
his
could be styled, no.
I have
make it look no.
I have a feeling that his hair goes from being shoulder length to being like mid back length.
I've said this. One course's hair is narratively long. Also, when it is brushed, it does get longer because it's all tattered.
It's shoulder length, you said, correct?
It's usually just below shoulder.
Yeah.
But now
I always thought it way too long.
So now it goes down to a little, not quite to mid back, but maybe about
just between the shoulder blades.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
I always draw Corvus's hair way too long.
Well, I say it's narrative length. Whatever length you are, as long as within reason.
I just
Down to the floor. All right.
Bro, I have a character.
I literally have put that it's been growing throughout the campaign.
You know, I really would appreciate if random judges would stop sending me political texts. That would be great.
That, you know, understandable.
I am amazed I haven't gotten any of that when I'm in a swing state.
No, it is just like my county's judges are sending me that. So.
All right. So Lessla arrives at the temple once more. She's been coming here a lot. She doesn't know how to feel about it because she's not a particularly large fan of gods in general.
Gotcha. But regardless, you enter your way and you make your way into the temple. A few of the guards and priestesses do recognize you by now and give you a nod or a friendly wave.
Mm-hmm.
But you're able to make your way to the back without hassle.
Once in there, Lessla will give a respectful bow and smile and says, "I have arrived for today."
She stands up from the chair and does lead you somewhere else, a more sealed off and but slightly larger room that I don't have a map for.
Okay, understandable.
But in it, you can see a great many very clearly like magical items and memorabilia. Not memorabilia, tools. So essentially cauldrons, orbs, etc., etc. And in the very center, you can see a very large vat. That, yeah. That's the best way to describe it, because it's not a cauldron. It is just a big it is like a big giant keg, essentially. And you can feel in here. It's actually quite cold. It's actually quite cold in this room. Like probably below freezing cold.
Lesla's actually used to that.
Mm-hmm.
So Lessla, you know, she shivers a little bit, but it's not a feeling that she's unused to. As she looks to the woman and says, "What exactly is this?"
So she walks over to the large keg in the middle of the room, and inside you do see something you're very familiar with and able to identify. It is a large keg filled with snow. Are you familiar with certain spells that allow one to project their presence at a distance. Specifically, the one I refer to is the practice of simulacrums.
Yes, it's a spell of the illusion school, quite advanced. You create a duplicate out of snow, and illusion makes it seem lifelike.
Because there is a physical form with some minor alterations, one can place a soul into it, in theory.
But as far as I'm aware, simulacrums are relatively fragile.
They are fragile when they come into contact with the outside world, but the core of the vessel likely will not be as prone to damage. This is a much less permanent solution than I would like, but it should suffice. Until a better one can be found, at least.
Is there already a basis for a better solution, or is it something that we would have to make ourselves?
I have several theories on it, but they remain untested. The time and effort required to put them into play, I simply have not had yet. And I may require your help for the resources that are involved in them as well. Magic of the highest level is often very expensive, as I'm sure you are aware.
Yes, it is. To most people who study magic, they fail to get any further, not because of lack of talent, but because of lack of resources.
Precisely. With time, I'm certain I can find a permanent solution for her. I simply have not had that time yet.
And Lessla takes a deep breath. From what I have experienced, nothing is more permanent than temporary solutions, at least when it comes to governments. I don't underestimate your magical ability, but if you had to estimate how much time it would take, how long would she be in the simulacrum?
My best guess would be several 10 days at the very least. Likely a few months. Though depending on her knowledge of the art, she may be able to reduce the time I require.
Zalnora was a capable wizard in her life. If I recall correctly. But at this point, it's how much she trusts the process is up to her.
I'm assuming with that you are essentially looking into your mind to
Yeah.
speak with her. Okay. Well, would allow me to work on it myself. Being able to actually move freely again. Would it be dangerous?
Are there any risks to this?
There are always risks with magic. Even the most mundane spell carries risks if done wrong or improper, and this is far from a mundane spell. This is far from spells that have been practiced anywhere in Faerun, I would wager. So to answer shortly, yes, there is some amount of risk. Though I cannot guarantee that continuing to exist as she does now doesn't carry its own risks either.
Lessla nods and says, the human body was not meant to carry multiple souls. I personally have not read up on the possibility of carrying multiple souls, but it is, well, possessions are not a positive thing in society. And while this is not necessarily that, it is uncannily similar.
The choice remains to the two of you if you wish to go through with it. If not, I can look for a more permanent solution, though I cannot guarantee how long you two will have to share this vessel.
At which point Lessla will look into Zelnor and says, it is... I will do what Zelnor wants. It is her life at risk in all of this. And I have learned from recent remembrance that I do not fear death as most mortals do. Mortal people do.
So Zalinora will speak to you. Would you be able to stay here and help her out?
When I can. But I am an adventurer, and, well, my time in Waterdeep may be limited. Without my bodyguard, I doubt that my family will allow me to stay in a different country for much longer. And when they summon me back to the Silver Marches, I must answer.
Then I would like to stay where I can help.
Lessa looks to her and nods and says, she's willing to take the risks.
Then we may begin immediately. And she gestures you over to where she has a magic circle drawn on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
This I will need your help for. In order to bind a soul to an object, the soul must first be expelled from whatever object, or in this case, individual, it currently inhabits.
And we'll use the magic circle to make sure that that Zelnor's soul doesn't escape into the aether.
Precisely. But the excising of a, well, your analogy of possession was fairly accurate. This is much the same. The excising of a possessing soul is no easy feat. But it should prove much easier when both the soul and the inhabitant are willing. You simply need to hold on to your sense of self with all of your might. As does she need to hold on to hers.
And if this fails?
It is possible the wrong soul may be excised. Or it is possible that whichever soul is excised may fade into the ether and continue on into the afterlife. If not be outright destroyed.
Lessla shuffles that and says this. From what I've learned about my soul in particular, I doubt that will happen.
She nods and begins her incantation. Lessla, I need you to make me a wisdom save.
God, wisdom. Alright. Well, good thing I have advantage on this.
You won't for this one. Because with Zelenora specifically, she is also having to make this save.
Wisdom. That's a 9.
Okay. So, Lessla, as you start to do that, you do feel yourself slip a little bit. But you're still there as of yet.
Alright.
For Zelenora feels fine to you, from what you can tell.
Lovely.
But as she continues with this ritual, I will need you to make a charisma save.
You know what's funny? I'm better at charisma saves than I am at wisdom saves.
You roll.
15.
Okay. So you feel yourself latch back on a little bit. And for Zelenora, she seems to be doing fine as well.
Alright.
Lastly, I need you to make an int save.
Here we go. That's a funny 3.
Okay, you're able to hold yourself down very, very well. And you do feel the soul begin to, Zelenora's soul begin to exit your consciousness. As it does so, one last time, I need a wisdom save.
Nat what? It's a 7.
Okay, well, that's not great.
How much psychic damage am I taking?
You're not taking any just yet, but you also feel your own soul begin to leave your body. It's not disastrous as of yet, but you are struggling to hold on. If you can make an argument for something other than a wisdom save, I will hear it. For as to how to claw yourself back.
Possibly. Oh, I know. Possibly using the idea of using abjuration magic occurs to Lessla to try and once Zalnora starts leaving, to put like a shell of arcane energy around herself to try and keep her own soul inside.
Okay. You do have your spell focus on you.
Yep.
So that I'll let you make an Arcana check.
All right.
It's not going to be a very easy check. And if you fail it by too much, you might have some problems.
All right. 17.
Okay, well that is not a success.
I figured it wouldn't be. I've consistently rolled under 10 today.
Mm-hmm. So you are still feeling your soul begin to be pulled out. So you do have one last chance.
Mm-hmm. And is it wisdom save?
Not as a wisdom save. Let me find it in here. So the last thing you could attempt to do, this would be an Arcana check.
All right.
However, I will tell you that in doing this, if you fail at it, this will destabilize the ritual. But there is a way you can use your knowledge of magic to attempt to claw yourself back in using the binding that this magic circle is attempting to do. If you destabilize it, there is a strong chance that there could be disastrous effects for one or both of you.
Oh, no.
But the consequence of failing otherwise is that it is possible that A, you might be placed into whatever object it is, or B, one soul may fade away into the afterlife.
All right. Well, time to be a hero, and I'm gonna try and do this Arcana check.
Okay.
Any advantage or disadvantage on this, or just straight Arcana?
This is straight Arcana.
All right, here we go. It's a 17 again.
All right. Well, it's not great. You didn't fully destabilize the ritual, but it's not in a good place. You can tell by, first of all, your body collapses to the ground.
Yeah.
You can tell from where you are that the ritual as it stands is struggling to keep both you and Zalanora's souls from just dissipating.
Thank God Cheese isn't there.
Mm-hmm. But it is struggling, and you're not sure if it's going to hold. It is possible that one soul could simply leave and allow the other one to exist on a time crunch. It is also possible that both souls could stay, but it's very likely that only one of them will be able to be placed inside a vessel of some sort in time. If one is still in here when this ritual destabilizes, it may sunder it.
Lessla will look to, I guess, solely.
It's more you have a feeling of what's going on. Like,
yeah.
This is an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, Lessla will.
You can tell there's another presence there, but you can't see it or interact with it. You can simply see that Sasprina is having a hard time maintaining control of this.
Alright. Lessla will Lessla is going to try and move the intention of trying to stay in the one body for now to Zalnora somehow, someway?
So you want to leave Zalanora in your body.
Yes.
So the way this is working, that's not really an option for you.
Okay.
Both have left fully. That's why your body has collapsed.
Okay.
There is no soul in there keeping it running. It is effectively a husk. So you really do have a couple of options. You can leave the circle of your own free will. If you do so, however, your soul will pass on into the afterlife. Effectively, Lessla will die.
Mm-hmm.
You can attempt to stay in there, in which case there might only be time for one of you to get put back into a vessel. The other one, there is a very strong chance that they will be sundered entirely, meaning not only will that individual die, they will not be resurrectable. Period.
Yep.
If one soul leaves, then yeah, there is a very then yeah, that soul could likely be resurrected.
Well,
but again, I stress this is a possibility. Essentially, either way, there's going to be a dice roll.
all right.
It's just you can guarantee that that you'll be the one making the dice roll. One way.
Yeah.
Like or you're the one who will be affected by it.
All right. Well.
And I will tell you, if that is the case, then Lessla will be dead. She will have to be resurrected.
Well, if
that is your choice.
Yeah.
And we all know how easy that is for this party.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean,
with what you have, not very easy.
Exactly. I said it sarcastically.
Yeah. Well, at the very...
We are at least in a temple.
Okay, so there's a couple things. One, we're in a temple. Two, there's a wizard nearby who is specialized in necromancy. So at the very least, they should have gentle repose.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope. Which means that...
I will say, though, it will take time to do.
Yeah.
So I can't promise you'll be able to participate in the Liar's Night
Mm-hmm.
if you do this.
Oh.
Like, so you can either take the chance that you will either be able to be resurrected, or just Lessla will flat out die and not be able to be resurrected, because that is the risk.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can essentially leave it up to fate which one of you gets put back first. Leave it up to Esprina which one of you gets put back first. But the other one, there is a chance that it will simply be destroyed.
Well,
there will not be time for her to put them both in.
Yeah, well, Lessla...
I'm going to tell you, either way, it is a 50-50 dice roll.
Yep. Alright. Well, either way, it's a 50-50 dice roll, but if Lessla willingly leaves, then that will...
If you willingly leave, then Lessla will die regardless.
Yes, Lessla will die regardless. But she would be resurrectable.
Again, with the 50-50 dice roll, if it has failed, Lessla is gone, period. You would be guaranteeing that you take the risk.
Fuck it. Lessla has been trying to be a good person.
So you're going to guarantee that you take the risk?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I need to... roll.
Okay. Rick, you are so glad Jesus not there right now.
You know what the worst part is I think only Vale knows that Lesla's here.
No.
And Vale didn't come. He's staying with Yorn.
Okay.
So, Lessla, you make the choice to willingly leave the circle, and you feel it stabilize as it does. You feel the presence leave. But you feel your soul get caught as it does. Something... It's like a deep wound or a deep gash, but not... There's no physical form to gash. It feels like it cuts to the core of your very being. Every aspect of you does. And so I need you to roll 5d10.
Okay.
Fucking Christ.
And we're going to see what happens. Okay. So that's not more than your hit points, which is good. Which is very good. So, as you leave, you do feel this deep gash and wound in your spirit. But there is also something else as you feel yourself begin to leave entirely. You do feel something in the back of your mind, a presence. Something there that is reaching out. Do you wish to acknowledge it?
Yes.
So you reach out to this presence and acknowledge it, and suddenly you hear a very hissing, very angry voice just from the ether. Foolish whelp, am I to be destroyed for your own arrogance?
Arrogance. What I've done is not arrogant.
It is foolhardy and disgustingly. What's the word? Selfless.
And what am I supposed to do? Just let my friend die.
That my soul should go to you. That my soul should go to you. I truly am cursed.
Are you the reason I'm so angry? That I enjoy every bit of pain I inflict?
Your tendencies are your own. But I am the reason you are what you are.
Then what?
You fool, you mimic only a fraction of what I can be. Of what I was. And now you tend to squander it for some whelp girl. The audacity you have to give something that was never yours to begin with.
Then who did it belong to?
You know to whom your soul belongs. You see my memories every night when you dream. You know my tendencies, you know my power. It sleeps within you for a foul curse wrought upon me by beings beyond your imagination.
You are the hunter.
I am the hunted. But the hunter is more in danger than the prey.
If you are so powerful, then get us out of this.
You have brought me to the point of destruction and asked for my help.
Well, it's either you help or we are both destroyed.
In this case, girl, you are right. I have no choice but to use some of my own power, and you have put me in a position to use it. Claim your birthright, you foolish whelp. And in time I will claim you for myself.
I refuse to be owned by anything.
You have no choice in that matter. Your lot in life was decided the moment you came into existence. The moment your soul, your existence was bound to mine as some malignant tumor of a life. Now go back, and when the time comes, know that you belong to me.
What are you?
You will know in time. I owe you no answers. But for my own amusement, I will give you a name. I am Scalinox, and I will devour your soul. And Lessla, you snap back awake.
Mm-hmm.
But you do feel this burning sensation throughout your body that slowly begins to subside as you look up and you see Sasprina staring at you. Clearly very surprised by what's going on, but also trying to maintain her concentration on the spell, holding up a small dagger, and you can see ushering some essence towards it. As you look down, you notice licks of ember dancing along your skin.
Lessla sees that, and I suppose there's no check in the world I could make about the name.
No.
Yeah. I have a feeling that's hidden history.
And also, I will tell you, Lessla, you are now resistant to fire damage.
Well, that's lovely. Time to fireball myself.
That would have come in handy way back when.
Yeah, I still didn't go down from that.
Mm-hmm.
You whelp.
Yeah. Oh no! I had a feeling that things like that were.
I thought something might like happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Fire. Yep.
As you stand up and you feel your skin, you feel that there is a sort of unnatural hardness to it. Almost like a sort of stone.
Mm-hmm. Lessla is going to instinctively reach up under her collar to where her quote unquote birthmark is, and run her hands across it.
Remind me what that is.
It's a part of her skin that is, for some reason or another, very reminiscent of scales. Like physically and texturally.
So it feels different than it did before. Instead of the scaly texture you had seen, whatever that texture was has become very, very fine. If you really like press against it, you can feel a very, very fine scaling pattern there, but for the most part it feels smooth to the touch.
Mm-hmm.
And also hard. Almost like glass, but very, very warm.
Yep. Lessla,
Exceedingly so.
yeah, is somewhat she doesn't know how to feel about it yet. But assumedly the ritual itself is over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As you see Sosprina usher the last of the essence into the dagger she's holding. And taking it, like, very carefully taking your hand, she walks over to you. Still clearly very surprised. You have no idea how lucky you are, child.
I'm not.
Your soul was almost destroyed.
Yes, it was. I felt it. And it was not my I'm not neither of us are responsible for my soul coming back into my body.
She just stares at you for a moment, not really sure what to ask, which is surprising for her.
And if Lessla tries to speak the name, is she able to?
Yes.
Does the name and I'm gonna need a spelling for that, or else I'm never gonna remember it. Scalanox, yeah.
Eleanor.
Scalanox. Does that name mean anything to you?
No, I cannot say that it does. And I will paste it in general for you.
Yep.
Right. That was close.
Yep.
Did I get it right? Oh, I fucking nailed it. Let's go.
Lessla takes a deep breath as she says this. Evidently, my existence is bound to that of another, a much more powerful existence, and it claims that it will devour my soul when the time comes.
That is very concerning indeed.
How you were trying to detect if something was bound to Dion. Could you do the same thing to me?
I can detect many a magical affliction, many a magical binding. But what you describe, I'm not sure there's any way I could scry for it.
That makes me very concerned, not just for myself, but Dion and the others. All of our souls share a similar nature. If each one of us is bound to something that is willing to consume it,
The situation is dire indeed.
maybe I'm just the unlucky one and I was bound with something so malignant. and the others had something much nicer. But I have learned in the world of magic, you never hope for niceties.
Indeed, you do not. At the very least, not without preparing for far worse outcomes. Those who fail at one or both. There are many disasters that tell their tale.
I will have to do more research on the Scalanox. If something thought it fitting to bind her, or it, or whatever manifestation it may be, in order to trap it or keep it from acting, someone has to have lore on it. And Waterdeep seems like the best place to find that source.
Waterdeep carries a great many magical secrets and scholars. That is true. Though I cannot say it is the most well-versed in such mysteries of lore.
Yeah. Maybe my master may know something of it. I need to contact him as quickly as possible. Cheese will have been very mad at my choice to do what I did. But I did not die, so maybe I will be saved of her outright reprimand. Lessla looks at the dagger. And Zelnor's in there.
She is safe. And now I should focus on giving her a form with which to interact with the world.
Yes. Please let me know as soon as it is completed. I would like to be one of the first people to greet her.
It will take me several hours at least.
Which one? Less than odds and sods. I will return to my abode for the time being. I need to share the information I've learned with the others.
Okay, GM just double checked. Simulacrum will take 12 hours to complete.
Yeah.
Meaning likely you won't have time before.
Liar's
It's
night,
supposed
yeah.
to be off tonight, yes.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. But I will upon leaving the temple, I will pull the raven out of this pocket dimension and have it go find Sapphire and Corvus and tell it to come to the room. I guess to a place to meet. And will telepathically contact Cloud because I think I can actually contact him over a mile.
I believe so.
To let Cheese know and then go get the rest.
All right. I will say all of you do receive such a message.
Sapphire mid dyeing her hair. You've got to be kidding me.
Now what'd she do?
Hmm?
Now what'd she do?
Disguise self so she doesn't have any hair dye in her hair right now.
No. I mean, that's Sapphire's reaction. Now what?
Yeah, that's.
To be
You gotta
fair,
be kidding. Now what?
Lessla doesn't send out the messengers unless it's important.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Hence, now what?
Like, you gotta be kidding me. Now what?
Keep in mind, Lessla has already in this campaign turned herself into a pseudo dragon, charmed
Yeah.
herself to cheese, created a dragon, and many other things by accident.
Lessla is a
We need to take Lesla's magical privileges from
Lessla
her.
Letting
specifically,
Lessla die would not be a bad idea.
Lessla specifically has had more magical mishaps than some characters do over an entire campaign.
I've had more magical mishaps than a wild magic sorcerer has over a campaign.
Yeah, my god.
uh,
And I can only be blamed for some of them.
uh,
Anyway,
do,
let's go ahead and put you all back on good old Waterdeep map.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. How do I start this conversation? That's after Lessla sent the messenger. She now starts thinking, "How do I start this conversation?"
Here's how you start it. Cheese,
I'm guessing you
please
have
don't
absolutely
I'm sorry I
everybody here, right?
died.
Well, no, I didn't die.
I'm so sorry I died.
Here's how you do it. You look to Cheese and say, "Please don't hit or kill me."
You cast mage armor, then shield.
I don't have
then
mage armor.
shape. They go like, all right.
So where also, Lessla, would you have taken a look at your
Yes,
mark?
she would. She would have.
It is onyx black
Yeah.
and reflective.
Yeah. Yeah.
And seems almost to have spread.
Yeah. So I imagine that because she'd worn a high collar to hide it before because it went up her neck anyway. I imagine now, like even without a collar, she won't. Even with her high collar, she can't hide it.
No, she can still hide it quite well, actually.
Okay. Or
It seems to have more spread downwards than upwards.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, you know, that transformation, that actual aspect of the transformation was going to be, later, but, I can speed run that one. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, so, assumedly, whenever we get to the place where we're meeting, Lessla is just sitting there, standing there, pacing back and forth as she's trying to figure out what to say to everyone else before they arrive.
Plus, just has like facial stuff on. So you can...
Everyone is getting prepared.
No. Sapphire used disguise self, so it's like nothing. She hasn't been dyeing her hair. Although her locket is off.
Yeah.
And as naked as that makes her feel, she was not going to risk damaging it while dyeing her hair.
Cheese. Looks like cheese.
Yep. And then all the other NPCs and their various states of getting ready. Lessla, once everyone arrives, she puts her hands together and she looks worried. Which is not a look Lessla ever has.
My lady, what is wrong?
Yeah, Corvus is standing and just like very expectantly, like.
A part of Sapphire is exasperated.
So, well, I have news. Good news, somewhat alright news, and possibly world-changing news for us.
It's the world changing.
And we'll get to that last, as I may or may not be berated once I get there. So, first news is I have successfully separated myself from Zalanora.
Glad to hear it.
And we are putting her in a simulacrum.
Very well.
The not so
Corvus
great.
having no idea what that is.
Sapphire just nodding slowly,
Yeah, but
waiting.
no. The moment she said there's world-changing news, he's complete. He doesn't really care about the other news. He's waiting for that one.
The not,
Sapphire's just nodding slowly, waiting for the other shoe to drop.
the not so great, the all right news, but not so great news is I almost died in the process. My soul
The
was
other shoe.
my soul was almost sundered, and it was separated from my
For
body.
10 minutes!
It was separated from my body for a time.
Oh,
Oh, you will.
she looks like she's about to have a heart attack.
No. Well, yes, I'm fine. And at which point, Lessla kind of rubs her neck.
Mentally.
No, she's not mentally
Physically, I'm
fine.
fine.
Physically, I'm probably
Physically,
not
I'm-
fine. But I'm fine.
Define fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Alive.
I'm alive.
I'm alive. Now, the world-changing news is that in this near-death state, I may have gained some insight into the natures of our souls.
Not a great way to do it, but okay.
It
Go
wasn't,
on.
it wasn't intentional, but I learned that me specifically, my soul is bound to an entity named Scalanox. And she has promised that when the time comes, she will devour my soul.
Was not to get.
The Sapphire's just rubbing her temple and just sighing, like, oh, great.
And
Anything else?
from what she told me, something bound her soul to, well, my existence. Maybe not necessarily when I was born, prior to me being born, my soul was being formed, possibly. We can get into the theoretics later. But if that is the case, that may also, if that is the case for me, there's a high likelihood that that is the case for the rest of you.
I'm aware of this.
And while it's not guaranteed, the creatures that may be bound to us may want the freedom eventually, and my theory is as we grow more powerful, so too do they. As example, Lessla hesitates for a moment as she grabs her collar and pulls it to the side to reveal the Onyx scale-like pattern that looks glassy.
Of course, we'll walk up.
So it does look like actually like a smooth plane of glass has kind of been infused into Lesla's skin.
Of course, we'll.
It feels hard, like if you've ever touched like stained glass, it has the same texture, but
yeah.
Lessla can clearly move it and twist it.
But yeah, of course, we'll approach and immediately touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Sapphire.
It is actually quite warm to the touch.
So.
And Cheese is the only person who knows what it looked like before.
Cheese is not going forward to touch it.
Does it actually look like an onyx to Sapphire?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Like it has
I'm
the same
imagining
black, but
obsidian.
you can't tell
Yeah.
with you can't tell if it has similarities to any gemstone you know of, considering it's embedded into Lessla. Like you can't really.
Let me just carve it out really quick.
Yeah, it also is flexible, so that only that'll.
It's not a very common thing in stones.
Yeah.
So as of course just goes investigates this and attacks Lessla, an arm goes around Lessla and just pulls her into a small hug.
That's
How
only.
bad does Corvus smell right now?
It actually probably smells pretty good because he was in Sune's temple. That's probably the first thing they did.
Okay, good.
Pretty good.
He had to resist throwing dirt on himself as he walked out.
It's not. I don't throw down myself. It just happens.
I didn't intend for it to get as bad as it was, but it was. We were both willing to take the risk, and, well, I wasn't expecting to get that close to death.
I understand. Alright.
I also may or may not be resistant to minor flames. When I woke up, I was on fire.
I was in the middle of taking a sip, and I just paused mid-sip when you said that. Like, it was about two
No.
in character there, just like, huh?
I will. New math studies. And figure out more of this.
Also, the dreams that we have, they are the memories of whatever we're bound.
I was aware of this as well.
I had a feeling that would be the case as well.
Seems you know more than me right now, which is
And
annoying.
this is not how I wanted to do it either.
I understand, man. But we stand beside you. Better or worse. I will ask. Keep the risks you take to a minimum from now on.
I was keeping it to a minimum. I was going to the most experienced spellcaster we know. It would seem that I am prone to magical mishaps. And I'm actually getting tired of it.
I will need to ask. Are you feeling up to tonight? If not, you can sit this one out.
I'm perfectly fine for now. But if you all are not comfortable with me going, I will sit it out. And Lessla will look it to everyone, but mostly to Cheese.
Cheese looks appalled. And utterly betrayed. And for once, she is not hiding it.
Sapphire is just, if it's not one thing, her expression is like, if it's not one thing, it's another. And right now they're both on the plate.
This goes for anyone else as well. This knowledge could have an effect on all of you. Any of you wish to sit out. No one will think less of you. Scans the room to see if anyone says anything.
I personally am not going to back out of this.
Looks to Cheese at the NPCs.
Cheese looks on the verge of breaking down or breaking bones. And then a little manic giggle escapes her. I care not.
Step back.
I no longer care. I no longer care. We are going to do this tonight, whether I feel up for it or not. Whether you feel up for it or not, and she's pointing directly at Lessla, and whether anyone else feels up for this or not. It is going to be done. And that is what I have to say.
Sapphire is just looking very concerned at Cheese.
Lessla will move past Corvus, and she's looking sheepish as she approaches and says, I did not think that this would happen.
You never think. The very least you could have perhaps told somebody. No, never. You have to do before you think. And you deign to look at me like that. You said I could trust you. You said you would work on us trusting one another, and this is not how that happens.
I didn't think that it would have been that way. It's why I went to Vale's mother in the first place. I wanted...
You could have told any of us. Hello, I'm about to go do something very dangerous.
I didn't...
You should possibly be worried. Or, hey, perhaps I'm trying to rend a soul that I put into my own body and put it into something else. Maybe that would have been nice to know.
I didn't know that was going to be the process until I got there.
It's not difficult to contact us. I cannot speak anymore, lest I continue to cut like knives.
I want your honesty, Cheese.
My honesty is that I am fucking infuriated.
I am sorry. Truly I am. And there is no deeper regret than making you so frustrated with me.
Frustration isn't even the beginning of what I am feeling right now. Your apology is catalogued. I am unsure if I am willing to accept it yet. Because I am glad we have to pretend we do not know one another tonight.
Just walks into the center of the group. As I hear no further complaints from anyone else, and goes as was previously established. Looks over at Cheese. I may talk to you, Rouge. Whenever you're ready. I'll wait outside. You, looks over to Lessla. I will talk to you another time. Is it understood?
Yes.
Good. Dismissed.
Sapphire's going to give another concerned glance over at Cheese and a also concerned glance over at Lessla. Just like, yep, going back to dye my hair. Just gonna quiet, not saying a word, just look at the two of them concerned and go.
Whenever Cheese and Corvus step aside, Cheese is... You can tell that she is... The rage radiates off of her.
Call me unkind if you wish. I have found that I can no longer care.
Unkind? No. She has. I will not excuse her actions, for it is not my actions to excuse. Oh, well, your anger is justified. Perhaps I am too old now to care. Perhaps it has been because of y'all that I have grown calmer. Your anger is well placed. I will not deny you it. That would be wrong. Trust that Miss Silverster can keep and force herself to get through a situation she does not want to be in. I can trust Miss Eldercrow as she will be accompanying me, stay on track. I cannot speak for the others, but I can imagine they will either not accompany us tonight, or if they do, it will be a mixed bag. You. Your emotions matter very much. No, wear them on your sleeve. What I saw in there, just it's a hand on his shoulder, if she'll let him.
She will.
I've never seen that from you. I have not known you long. I've never even seen that look in your eye. I've grown to care about you, ma'am. I do not know what will help you in this situation. Either I lack the words or lack the knowledge. I know when anger takes me, and I will allow you to take your anger out on me if it helps. Because having that boiling in you is not going to do well for you.
What?
When I am angry, I chop wood. I build something. Or I hunt. I hit something. It helps me focus. I'm allowing you to strike me. All the anger is out of you.
Cheese flinches away from him. You. You believe I would do that to you?
No. So I give you the option.
I. How? How? I don't under. She is just completely lost. At a complete and utter loss. And she looks ready to sob.
Did not mean to upset you.
I would never. I need time. Not not violence. I
Was not. If I may offer another, then.
speak.
He just holds open his arms. And if not, step forward. Just take a very sheepish step forward.
She hesitates. And she turns away. I can't. I need to breathe. I need to think. But it is appreciated.
As I have said, I do not know the right words. I lack them. I do not have the wisdom to help. I'm sorry if I have caused you further distress.
I will see you
Just
tonight.
this, of course. And before you just step a little closer to you, and puts a hand gently on her shoulder.
She's just pat on the hand and move away.
Sort of watches her. I think if she's leaving, just watches her leave.
Cheese walks away in a rush.
Let's take. Sorry.
Yeah, she just leaves.
Nicholas takes account of himself. Feels sweat of his palms, getting of his heartbeat. And after a second, everything just goes numb again. And he turns back to continue his thing at the Temple of Sune.
And since I didn't quite expect that to take as much time as it did,
Yeah.
I think that might be the call-off point for tonight.
Yeah.
Gives Marin some time to do the cheese art.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give Marin some time to get to figure out Cheese's headspace.
All right, and with that, we'll call it here for today. As always, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are, and remember to stay frosty. For those of you watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and ring that notification bell to get more content like this in the future. And to support the channel or our artists, please view the links down in the description below.